Pleased to welcome in our fourth guest on the show for this Friday evening fixture as we fast race through the year of 2020. Very pleased to say that Julie Burridge has joined me here in the studio. And Julie, great to have your company. Thanks for coming on. And you're one of the few that have so far accepted the invitation. So good to see you.
Oh gosh, have you scared them off?
I think I must have done, yeah. But things are going great for you and the team so far this year? Yes,
we've had a tremendous start to the year, Nick. It's been really great. A couple of winners, and we've got some nice horses in the sidelines.
Indeed, no, looking forward to them. We'll touch upon those horses as well in due course. Obviously, for those that maybe don't know, Julie, you're obviously an accomplished horsewoman for sure, and that obviously stems a long way back to your childhood days. Tell us how it all started.
Indeed, I'm from Guildford in Surrey, just outside London. My parents were not at all interested in horses. They actually were terrified of horses. However, they saw a good thing when we were keen to go down to a stable yard close to home, and we were there most weekends and evenings. Learning the trade, and those little ponies you saw there, Shetland ponies, they're actually very hard to ride. They're very cheeky, so it's a great beginning.
And obviously with that beginning, and obviously learning your craft, you then come forward. We saw those racing pictures. Here you are in a trial not so long ago as well. So it's gone from Shetland ponies to racehorses.
Yes, I was privileged enough to go to the British Racing School in Snailwell in Newmarket, and I learnt a tremendous amount there, how to ride gallops and things. So yeah, it's been a good career.
I'll tell you what, he was a pretty smart looking horse, that fellow. We were talking off air before we recorded this show that you were telling me he's pretty handy, that warm blood.
Yes, that was Belcam Hinnock at the Bukatema Saddle Club, and I leased him for a couple of years. I had a tremendous association with him. We bonded very well, really connected with that horse, and we won a lot of jumping competitions. Yeah,
he certainly looked like he could jump all right. Anything from flat racing to jumping, Julie Burridge is the woman. Talking of a connection, one thing that obviously owners like to have always within their ownership is that connection, both to their horse, their trainer, their jockey, and everyone else involved. And that's something that you've become quite heavily involved as well now, obviously, and you've got a new ownership group as well. Just tell us a little bit about the experience, Julie, for your experience here in Singapore.
So Steve and I are trying to provide an experience that accompanies with ownership of horses. It's not hard to own a horse anymore. You can join a syndicate and just have a very small percentage and own his eyelashes. You don't have to own a tremendous amount. But what we aspire to do is give you the journey. So we give you videos, updates, come to the races, watch the track work, the trials, get to know one another, the other ownerships. It's like a little club membership, except you don't have to pay any club membership. But it's been a tremendous amount of fun, quite a lot of hard work, and great rewards.
Absolutely, you can see that quite evidently in this bit of footage. We can see obviously plenty of celebrations, and when there is a winner. What about this young man finally, Simon Cock? Obviously we mustn't be very remiss of us not to chat about Simon on this show. I mean, he's doing wonderfully well. He's
done tremendous. He has an air of confidence about him, which is something you can't teach someone. He's just come back from Australia. He did some time with David Hayes. He rode some winners, and that's been an amazing stepping stone for him. He's such a useful rider, but he's very in demand. We're struggling to keep him, which is hard, but he'll go on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, I'd agree wholeheartedly with that. He's a very much a talented young man. Just on the ownership itself here and stuff like that, obviously the experience with the Singapore Turf Club, we've got there's level 3, which is dedicated to the owners, that's right?
Yes, we have a couple of tables up there, and we invite the owners to bring friends, come and just watch the racing, get involved, come down to the parade ring. It's really an exciting moment actually being at the races. That atmosphere is more tangible than just reading the newspaper or seeing the race book, and we try to get them excited, get them involved. It's a big job, but it's enjoyable, and our intention is to get more people on board. And
very much affordable as well.
Affordable, I mean, there is a risk with investment, that with any investment, so we have to manage expectations as well.
But can that be hard from time to time? Are there a few,
of course,
1 or 2 characters that might get a little bit sort of too excited about the whole thing?
Yeah, of course. But Steve and I are very emotional about and very passionate. We believe in what we do. We're good at what we do, and we're just trying to, mesh that across to give other people a chance to experience what we experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a journey, hopefully for the owners and myself, and bigger and better things to come.
Well, let's now have a look at a horse called Dipson, who's a part of the ownership group that Julie manages. And well, Julie, he's been in great form, this horse. He's raced recently, but this was his last win over a mile, and he looks a really nice sort of stayer going forward.
He does. When he won this, Steve and I were a bit excited. Okay, it's only a Class 4. However, the way he kept going and got to the line reminds us of the wonderful So You Think. So You Think raced in 5 different countries, 2 hemispheres, and won in 4 of those different countries. So if he could sort of swing towards the sire, and his dam actually, Reglisse, is by a Zabeel mare, so it's all very exciting.
And here's a new horse that actually races this weekend for you, Argente Fiscal. Recent trial. Regrettably, though, he bumps into what looks to be some nice horses on Sunday.
Yeah, so they didn't split the Class 4 he was in, so unfortunately he goes against Churchill, Atlas, and a horse of Shane Barchingham's, which is very, very smart. He has won over a little bit more distance, so okay, this might be a bit sharp for him. However, we're very excited. He's very fit. He's drawn a great barrier, and we have the secret weapon Simon on him.
You do indeed, yeah, the secret weapon Simon for sure. How did you source him, Julie? Obviously, because I imagine perhaps from recent times and what we've seen is maybe sourcing form horses out of Australia is probably getting that little bit more costly, a bit more difficult. But you've got someone over there that you were telling me that does a lot of the buying and spotting for you? Yes,
Lou Liparata. He's been a tremendous intrinsic help to sourcing the horses. We can't be there in Australia. He watches the races. He's quite an astute person, and he's found Salvador for us, as well as a Dipson and Argente Fiscal. So we offered to buy Argente Fiscal before he won his race, and they refused, and then he went on and won a race and ran second, and then they rang us back and said, you know, you can have him.
But another naught on the end.
No, it was quite reasonable, really.
Okay, very good.
The only thing that bumps the cost up is the vet checking and the insurance and bringing the horse over. It's quite a hefty, but of course we sell at cost. We don't put anything on. What we're looking for is longevity in our business, bringing more people into horse racing and having fun.
Absolutely, and that's certainly the name of the game for sure, and plenty of fun can be had racing, that's for sure. Obviously, in regards to the experience here, just once again, obviously I imagine you've got people in your racing syndicate there that probably come away from here saying, wow, this is, or first timers for instance probably come away saying, wow, this is fantastic.
There's so much more to horse racing or racing a horse that you would ever believe, and they love. I mean, some of them are so good at the statistics and asking questions and finding out.
They really get into it, I imagine, after time as well. They probably really immerse themselves.
They're very good. I'm really enjoying that journey, and I hope they are too. Once what we're trying to expose them to is a bit of the training, what goes on behind the scenes.
That's what you don't see, right? Obviously the owner or the man or the woman that's got his maybe 5% or he's 10% even, or even a bit less, for instance, they probably don't see that as much. But I guess if you can offer that to them, it then becomes part of the whole package and experience. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, a horse is such an amazing creature. I mean, they're a window into your soul. They are alive. You're paying for something that you are technically responsible for. I mean, they do legally own the horse. So we invite them to come in and expose themselves, touch the horse, come and feed the horse, come and pet the horse, watch him do his trials, watch him race, watch him, anything, and they really do get into it, and they really love their horses. So hopefully we're doing a good job.
That's superb, absolutely. No, I think what did Winston Churchill say once? There's something about the outside of a horse that's good for the inside of a man. So they are indeed wonderful, wonderful creatures. Talking of Churchill, obviously less of him the better, because you're
Churchill the better.
You're taking him on Sunday. Recently, though, you had another winner from the stable, a horse called Ironclad, who I wanted to speak to you about. He's a son of a Kima feed. Obviously, we've mentioned a Dipson, who's a So You Think. Argente Fiscal is a new stallion, Dreamscape. But this son of a Kima feed, nice to have one of them here, and you guys have got the first winner, so that's I imagine quite pleasing.
It's always nice to be the first at something. So the owner, Mr. Fung, he also owns a percentage of a Dipson. That was the connection. So when this lovely horse...
And is that purely through owning a share in a Dipson that this gentleman has got involved?
Absolutely, and he might buy another one.
That'd be good.
But yeah, Keed Mafeet was an exciting stallion. He was trained by John Ox in Ireland. He went to Richard Gibson in Hong Kong. He won the Hong Kong Cup, the Hong Kong Derby. He went back to Australia to be a stallion. Now they are going very well, these Akib Mafeets. Akib Mafeet himself was by Dubawi, who is by Dubai Millennium.
Sure.
Dubai Millennium unfortunately had one crop and died of grass sickness, and he was an extraordinary horse, Dubai Millennium. He won the World Cup in Dubai. So if you're looking at breeding, this horse really has the pizzazz and a bit of finesse to go on, and we will do everything we can to get that horse to win some more races.
Yeah, absolutely. He looks, and he certainly does look exciting. In fact, the only time Dubai Millennium got beat was in Epsom Derby. They tried him over a mile and a half. So a superb horse he was, and that's obviously the lineage with Ironclad. Looking ahead to the rest of this year, Julie, obviously we're a month in now. The winners have started flowing. A couple of horses maybe in the stable that really do excite you going forward?
Well,
I suppose your own.
Well, of course, my own. Lim's Craft is an exciting horse to go forward with. Of course, the Dipson. We've got a couple of new horses coming. We've just bought a horse called Busby from Melbourne through Lou. So that's an exciting Kaiser, another horse that was racing around Melbourne. He'll be coming as well. You always need to replenish your stock and keep it going, keep the dream going. We'll go on as long as we can.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you, just finally, we're regrettably having to wrap up. We are running out of a bit of time, but where did the idea from the colours come? I know the orange, the blue, the stars. Is there any sort of method in that madness?
There's always method to our madness. So we originally had orange and navy blue are our sort of favourite colours, which we ride in orange every morning. So we had stripes originally, and that finished up. So we decided to create this new one with the stars. And of course, I've got a girl helping me. She did it all on PDF. Her name's Quay May. And a big shout out to her for helping me with all the media and things like that.
Superb. Well, you do a great job, and obviously we look forward to seeing those stars in the winners' enclosure very soon. Julie, thanks for coming on the show. It's been great to chat to you, and wish we could chat for longer, but no, we'll have you back, I'm sure. Julie Burridge then, who has been our guest on Track Talk Under Lights, and we wish her and her team very well this weekend, most notably with Argento Fiscal, who makes his debut.